I think this is something that most people struggle with or have struggled with in their life, and it's something that I've personally struggled with as well. I think that the most common problem with people today is not that they don't know what to do to improve their way of life and move their life forward, but it's that they simply can't bring themselves to do it no matter what they try. And I think this is like one of the biggest problems that people face when it comes to self-improvement. And if you're watching this, I'm guessing that you've been sucked into this world of self-improvement, trying to do X, Y, and Z, take cold showers, go on no fab, no PMO, whatever you call it, and just try to do so many things at the same time. And for some reason you just always end up relapsing and going back to where you wanted to be, and most times just feeling worse about yourself. You hear from a lot of creators and people on the internet telling you to do this, and that. You get sucked into this world that you have to be a certain way. And I think that is the completely wrong way of looking at it, because there is no perfect template, no perfect routine on how to get to set goal. There are certain things that you need to be doing, of course, yes. And certain things do help, like NoFap, for example. That has helped me in my life a lot. I struggled with it, especially within my teen years. And I think that getting rid of some of those things, some of those distractions, can help you get to your goal. But one of the reasons that you always find yourself ending up in the same place is that you are trying to do so many things at the same time. You should think about it in the terms of self-development instead of self-improvement as a whole package. Self-development basically means that you are developing your attributes, developing your skills one by one. You don't have to go by a template and just try to do all these things at the same time. It just doesn't work. And when one thing falls apart, it ends up toppling everything else with it, because you just feel terrible about that one thing. You're like, oh, I missed my cold shower today. Oh, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I missed this. And oh, yeah, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. This is too hard for me. I can't follow this thing step by step. And then you watch a video telling you that, oh no, when you go through a minor setback, it's okay. Just go back and do it again. And then you go back and it happens again, and then you're back in square one, and then you go do it step by step, and then oh, it happens again. And there has to be a point where you decide for yourself, like, oh, this is not really working for me. But if you think in the terms of self-development, like you work on one thing at a time, you maybe start taking cold showers in the morning, or maybe after your workout, take a cold shower. And then you try to work out, let's say after you come back from work or after school, work out for an hour and a half every single day. You have 24 hours in a day, and you make that a part of your routine, make that a part of your life. You just integrate it. Now it's not even like you have to think about it too much. And then you add on to that from there. And then over time, you develop all these skills, and you develop all these attributes. You develop your character, you develop you. And it all comes down to making conscious decisions. Make conscious decisions on not to scroll for 4 hours a day on your phone, on social media, watching all those TikTok videos, TikTok memes, TikTok thotties, whatever, all those dancing videos, and fill that time with doing something that actually excites you, something that could potentially be your passion. See, most people think that they don't know what they're passionate about, but they have not even done anything to know that they're not passionate about something. See, everybody is good at something, and you tend to do what you're good at the most, which is what you tend to become passionate about. But what you're good at does not necessarily determine what you're going to be passionate about. You have to go out into the world and actually practice those things if you have an interest in anything at all. For me, I like recording videos. I like editing. I love creating content and educating people on how to improve themselves in one way or another. Now, it wasn't always like that. I was just enthusiastic about one aspect of the content creation. I liked editing, but I knew that I had to improve my filming skills. I had to improve my talking skills and just be more knowledgeable in what I like to do. I had to For YouTube, I had to learn how to edit better. I had to know how to create titles and thumbnails. Now, I am still learning in this aspect. I am still pretty new at this being a YouTuber thing, and that's fine. That comes with time and experience, and that is okay. That'll all come with time and experience and constant repetition. As long as I knew what my goal was, I knew that I had to work on XYZ, and I can start by looking at X and trying to improve that as best as I possibly can, master it to the highest degree. And if I look back far enough, all it was that I just liked working out and I liked doing calisthenics, and I wanted to master it to the highest of my ability. And I eventually got so good at it that people started asking me like, "Oh, how did you do this? And how did you achieve that? And how can I do that for myself?" Now, I saw an opportunity in that and I was like, "Oh, okay, people are interested in this type of thing. So I'm going to give them, I'm going to give them the knowledge, and the best way to do that is, you know, creating videos and educating them on that specific thing." And then eventually I fell in love with the creating process and I fell in love with the editing process, and I was like, you know what? How can I make the best possible videos and give the viewer the best value that I possibly can through the content that I create? For all of this to be effective, you have to think about the big picture, because after a while of doing all these things, you start to forget about the big picture and you start to fall out of line. And you think about the big picture, it's easier to think about the smaller goals. You know exactly what you have to do each step of the way in order to achieve your goal. You know that I have to go to a gym at a certain time if I want to be healthier and look better and feel better. And you know that I have to put the phone down and go to bed before 12 a.m. if I want to have enough energy and time in the day to do everything that I have to do tomorrow. Don't get too caught up in the small things like, oh, I have to take a cold shower every single day. If you miss one, it's not the end of the world. You can get back to it tomorrow. But think about the goal in the long term and try to move forward towards that goal. With that being said, man, I have said a lot in this video. There is so much more that has to go into this that I can talk about in the future. But thank you guys for listening. I will see you guys in the next video.